Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today we have just this really interesting topic involving a guy named Diddy. Diddy is going to have some problems. Diddy is probably ruined based on this video that was just released. And I'm not going to play the video now because I'm not here to gossip about this man's life, but I am going to talk about some things that the media will never really talk about when it comes to this topic, as well as ask some questions involving just how things got to where they are right now and what this means for him financially. So get comfortable, buckle up, seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to hop in really quick and talk about some of these developments and the whole situation with Diddy. By the way, do me a favor. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Give me a quick yes if you can hear me okay. Also, give me a yes if you know about the developments with Diddy. Give me a yes if you've been following this story. Diddy he's looking pretty bad right now. It's one of those things where it just seems to me that Diddy is I don't know. I mean, this videotape just came out and CNN released it, which I was surprised to see it on CNN. And I put the video up on my Instagram. My Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance. So if you want to jump in some interesting Black conversations, just go to Dr. Boyce Finance. That's where I put the video up. And it just looks to me like Diddy's reputation probably took one of the hardest hits that it's ever taken. I've really never thought I'd see a video like this. He's literally beating poor Cassie, beating her like an abused stepchild. And obviously there's nothing appropriate about the video. There's nothing defendable about the video. There's nothing you can say about the Diddy video that makes you say, he's innocent. Yeah, he didn't do it. And I know that there are people that are hardliners that will defend him to the end of time. And again, I don't think anybody's perfect in this world, but at the same time, it looks to me like all the little rumors and whispers that people have had about Diddy and some of his personal life have kind of come to the forefront. Now, here's the thing. Here's where I want to kind of jump into the conversation. You guys know I'm not really interested in the gossipy side of this. I'll let you speculate as to whether you think he's guilty or not. I've already given my assessment of Diddy. I told you, he's kind of this loud talking rapper guy. I call him the Black Peter Pan. And the reason I call him the Black Peter Pan is because it was almost like he never got old. He was always sort of a kid. It was like for him, every day was 1998. And I knew at some point 1998 would be over. I knew at some point he would be seen not as the young, cool guy that he was many years ago, but as kind of like the dirty old man. I felt that there would be a transformation where Diddy would go from being cool and hip and fly to becoming the new Bill Cosby. And so anyway, there's a lot to talk about with that. But and I'm actually going to do a pillow talk tonight with my wife, Dr. Alicia, who's a licensed therapist and a full professor of social work. And I can't wait to hear her perspective. But let me give you a couple of angles. I thought about the financial side of this and what this reputational damage does with Diddy. I think Black people, we have to really sort of think about the fact that we once had so many people that elevated this man as one of the great heroes of the Black community. He wasn't just involved in hip hop. He was seen as this mogul. He was seen as this Black billionaire. A lot of y'all were being influenced politically by him with that whole. Anybody remember the whole Vote or Die campaign? Anybody remember that Vote or Die? And I remember, honestly, I thought that stuff was stupid. I didn't like it. I was like, what does that even mean? Vote or die? That means, if you don't vote, we're going to kill you. If you don't vote, that means the Republicans are going to come kill you. I thought it was all a bunch of BS, mainly because I just believe Black people should have political freedom. But you're never going to have political freedom if you let these dumbass hip hop artists tell you who to vote for. I'm not telling you not to vote. Give me a yes. Let me know if you understand. I'm not telling you not to vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you, stop letting rappers tell you what to do politically. many of these guys are owned, bought, and paid for. They're owned, bought, and paid for. And so, and in fact, you can't tell me Diddy is not either a political operative or some sort of an informant or something like that. Why in the world else would he be sort of living the Epstein life? Epstein, Diddy, and Hugh Hefner, all kind of, in my opinion, I wonder if they're in the same category. And the reason I say this is because all of these men would have these big sex parties. All these men would have these gatherings where men, mostly men, would be doing stuff that they don't want other people to know about, things they don't want their community to know about, things they don't want their wife to know about, things they don't want their institutions to know about, things they don't want the public to know about. And there would be cameras. You know, why would a man have cameras all throughout his house recording people doing things that they don't want the public to know about? What do y'all think? Put your answer in the chat. That's called blackmail. That's blackmail. And if there's any way to extort any group of people, especially men, the easiest way to do it is to catch him with his drawers down. You catch him with his pants down, he's easily extortable. And that's why I've always warned young black men not to follow these dumb rappers in their crazy lifestyle, because somebody will eventually own you. A man who has no discipline will eventually be owned by people who caught him slipping. So with Diddy, that's what I think. I think that there's more to this. I think it's much deeper. In fact, I think about this. I mean, look at this. This man, it was a long time ago when they did the raid. The raid was a long time ago, but there was never an arrest. If you get raided, don't you expect somebody would get arrested? Somebody would be in handcuffs, like permanently? Not I know his sons were in handcuffs for a minute. I'm talking about like he would be arrested, taken to jail. They didn't do any of that. They raided him. Why did they raid him? Well, they raided him maybe because they wanted to get evidence out of his hands, maybe because they wanted to prepare him to be the fall guy. And so here's a couple of things about Diddy that that the media really isn't going to talk about. I don't think anybody's going to really ask this very often, at all, if at all. It's all about the gossip of whether or not he's a bad guy or a good guy. I don't want to get into that because I think that's all very subjective. And actually, before I move on, do me a favor. Could you please hit the thumbs up button? Thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. And I do have a best-selling book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. If you'd like to get a copy of the book, you can go to drboycebooks.com. And also, I'm in Philadelphia for the Get Money Fest, hosted by actually a hip-hop artist by the name of Jay Ortiz. He's a great guy, and I respect him a lot. And so if you want to join us in Philadelphia, you can actually get in if you go RSVP at getmoneyfest.com. You can join us. It's tomorrow, May 18th. We're going to be there all day. We've got panels on how to make money, basically, as well as art, fashion, music, everything else. So feel free to go to getmoneyfest.com if you'd like to join us in Philadelphia. All right. So here's the first question about Diddy that really came to mind when that tape got released. When I saw that Diddy tape, first thing I thought about was I said, okay, who had this tape all this time? Did anybody else think about that? Did anybody else wonder? I mean, this tape was from 2016, right? It was from 2016, but it gets released in 2024, right when Diddy's in the middle of controversy, right after his lawsuit with Cassie. Did anybody wonder, like, who the hell was holding this tape? Did CNN report this? Did they say this tape was released by Cassie and her team? This tape was released by the hotel. This tape, it was released by CNN, obtained by CNN. Well, who did you obtain it from? Did anybody wonder that? I really want to know who had the tape the whole time and why were they holding it? That's enough. Why were you holding the tape if you had this tape and it's incriminating and he's clearly, doing something terrible and he's beating this poor lady's ass? Why didn't you put that tape out sooner? Like, what? That would have been a bigger hit record than any song Diddy's ever made. Diddy ain't had a hit record since Biggie was alive. So this tape would have been his biggest hit ever because you saw he was hitting that poor girl. So why didn't you release the tape sooner? Why did you hold it for so long? Does anybody wonder that? Or am I the only one out here who's thinking about these things? Like, where was the tape at? Before it got released to the public, somebody had to be holding it. Who was holding it and why did they hold it this long? That speaks to a higher dimensional game that's being played. Somebody had this tape, held it over his head. They had the blackmail. For the blackmail. The blackmail was getting blackmailed. I'm not saying Diddy's a victim, though, because Diddy, he lives in this weird life and he, does these weird things. And so that comes with the territory. But this blackmail was being blackmailed. And then somebody decided that they just want to hold this in case Diddy gets out of line. So then the second question, that leads to the second question. The second question is, why did you release it now? What's happening right now? What is happening right now Clyde Davis, thank you. That's great, great name. That name comes to mind. What is happening right now that's making this tape something that should be released to the public right now? What was it about? What is it about May 17th, 2024 that made somebody say this is a good day for CNN to have this tape? Or this is a good day for this tape to be released to the public? That's the question that I'm really asking. Is like, what's going on now? So this speaks to a bigger game happening. I want you to also consider this. Pay attention now. This is an election year. How many of y'all, give me a yes or no, how many of y'all think that perhaps Diddy, the guy who was heavily politically involved, the guy who always does the vote or die campaigns and all this other stuff that he used to do on Revolt TV, that during an election year, all of this stuff that we've been whispering about. I mean, people have been whispering about this for decades. People have known about Diddy's lifestyle for a long time. Cat Williams was talking about sometimes you got to tell them no and all this other stuff, right? So it's not like nobody knew. It's not like nobody knew what was going on. It's almost like when Cosby kind of got whatever that he was dibbling and dabbling and stuff he shouldn't have been doing. So the question becomes like, why now? So who was holding it? Why did they wait? Why did they release it right now? Those are the three of the questions I'd like to know the answer to, because I think that there's something more happening here. It does not make Diddy a wonderful guy. It does not make him an angel. It does not mean I am defending him. I am not defending him. I'm simply asking for more information because this is all very weird. This is all, his house gets raided, but yet he doesn't get arrested. Then next thing you know, this tape comes out, this tape that's been sitting in somebody's closet for the last 8 years. And then suddenly it's like, oh, the public's perception is going to change. Because here's the thing. There are people that are very much in power. They control things in society. And they pretty much think you're stupid. They pretty much believe, and this is true for a lot of people, they believe the public is dumb. They believe the public is so dumb that their opinion can change very quickly, that the public isn't going to ask all the right questions, that people that actually are deeper thinkers are very rare and few in between. And I personally believe that that's what they're taking advantage of. They're like, oh, yeah, we can make them love him and we can make them hate him because they ain't nothing but a bunch of damn puppets, especially black people. They ain't nothing but, in their mind, they see us as a bunch of puppets who are going to go for the okie doke and believe anything CNN puts on TV or whatever. Now, here's the thing. Again, I'm not defending Diddy. I want to make that clear. Give me a yes if you can to let me know that you understand that I ain't defending this dude. Let me know. I want to make sure you understand that. So if you're here to defend Diddy, I'm not on your team. I'm not a guy who has ever thought highly of him. I never disliked him like that, but I'm not a person that's going to go out and stick my neck out for him. So I want to make that clear because some people don't understand nuanced arguments. Some people think if you're not 100% on one side or the other, or don't, just follow all the sheep, that somehow you must be that you're defending him, or you're a Trump supporter because you question Joe Biden. I hate that stuff. That people who think like that just need to leave. Just go away. Go to some simple-minded platform where they're going to give you stupid responses and simple-minded answers. I'm not into that. I'm into what's really happening here. And I think that this is a lot deeper than Diddy. I think also, these lawsuits are a little weird to me just because I'm trying to always figure out, why are we suing and why didn't anybody go to the police and what's really happening here and what's the burden of proof? What's the standard of proof? Now, I think, again, the video is a pretty good standard. And but at the same time, I just kind of think there's something happening here, and I don't think it's just as simple as Diddy and Cassie. I think it's deeper. It's like it goes up governmental level, maybe higher up in the music industry. I mean, if you remember, Diddy had that big financial situation going on with that vodka company, and if you recall, that got really ugly. It got really ugly to the point where Diddy was trying to. How many of y'all remember that? Diddy was trying to smear their reputation. Diddy was calling them racist and stuff like that. Y'all remember that? And maybe somebody over there said, oh, well, you want to come and play that game? You want to smear our reputation? Oh, we can do some smearing too. You in a glass house, man. You can't be throwing rocks from a glass house. So that makes me I wonder about that. Did he piss somebody off? Who did he piss off? Right. So long story short, I kind of think that this is interesting. I think it was long overdue. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Diddy is a guy who his brand never evolved. He never grew up, and he kind of sort of became a black billionaire, but he's not to me a guy that should be some sort of standard for black excellence. He's not black excellence. He represents, unfortunately, the effects of an undisciplined lifestyle, right? A lifestyle where anything goes, you do anything you want to anybody. And we sometimes forget in those lifestyles that chickens do come home to roost. And so Diddy put all of his wealth in jeopardy, in my opinion, by not getting his addictions, his infatuations, or whatever you want to call it, his obsessions under control. He likes sex just like every other man likes sex. But I think that when you are in that world of hip hop where they trained you, they played a game with you. They played a game with you. The people that run the record labels who are not black, the people that run the record labels, I believe they play a game with the black man. The game that they play with them is they get you to let your guard down. They get you thinking that you're untouchable. They get you to think that you can do anything and there's no accountability. They get you to think that you can go around drugging people, raping people, beating people up, having sex with everything that moves, and that there's never going to be a day where you're going to have to pay the piper for that. And I just think that any man who falls for that just has to be really careful because what'll happen is similar to what's happening to Diddy. Diddy busted his butt for 30, 40 years and made $1 billion, and they about to run through all that money. He done ran through all the women. He done ran through half the men. Now they're going to run through Diddy. They're going to have a Diddy party on his bank account. He's going to be paying everybody forever, and they've killed his ability to make money. They've killed his legacy. They've killed his generational wealth. They've destroyed his generational wealth. So I'd be curious to see how this plays out for him. I don't know how this is going to end for him. I cannot imagine that he's happy about the situation that he's in now. I really, I think also the other lesson that you can learn from this is all that glitters ain't gold. Do you know how many young people I've run to where their dream was to go work with Diddy? Do you know that? I know so many I knew a young lady that went to college in Atlanta, and I kid you not, she did not study. She made very bad grades at school. And I said, well, why aren't you studying? And you know what she said? She said, because I just came here so I can get into the music industry. I just came here because I know Diddy's going to discover me, and I'm going to go to New York and end up working for Diddy. That's literally what she said. That was her plan. That was her plan. Her plan was not to go to college, work hard, get a great career. Her plan was to go to school for a while, to buy time, work at a local radio station, and wait for Diddy or Jay-Z to discover her so she could go off into New York. And I was thinking, girl, you're going to go off to New York and get somebody going to take that booty. You better watch it. You better be careful. You don't understand that you are blinded by the money. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about here. This is the thing about money. That's my thing. Money, I'm a PhD in finance, and I've studied money my whole life. And the thing about it is that sometimes people can get blinded by the money. The money can be a massive, wonderful asset that frees you and liberates you in so many ways. But money can also turn you into a slave. Money is a drug. Money can blind you to the reality of what's right in front of you. Money can make you look at a debaucherous, jacked up man and really think that he's a black leader. That's what money does. Money will make you see a situation that's clearly unhealthy for you, that's bad for your mental health, bad for your physical health, bad for your lifestyle, bad for your soul, bad for your spirit, and you'll jump right into the poison because there's a dollar bill at the bottom of it. Y'all understand? We have this problem. These financial addictions cause us to look at people who are not good human beings, who are not safe for us, and to chase them down. Just go ask Cassie. I'm sure that there was not a single person who put a gun to Cassie's head and forced her to go date this man that was almost 40 years old and putting his dingling in everything that walked by. I don't think anybody made her do it. And I bet you that if you could build a time machine and go talk to Cassie and say, hey, girl, you might want to stay away from this situation because this won't be good for you. She would have told you to shut up and go to hell and told you about her rights and her rights as a woman. And you're interfering with my rights and you can't tell me what to do and my body, my choice. Okay, well, your body, your choice. Well, guess what? Bad things happen in this space. And because you're not conscious enough to understand that, you're going to have to pay the piper. So ain't no victims in this game for real. Ain't no real victims. Remember, there's a lot of women could have took Cassie's place, and a lot of women said no. Cat Williams said, sometimes you got to tell them no. Cat said no. I mean, I think Cassie could have said no. I'm not saying that's her fault. I'm just saying you do have the ability to say no. So, long story short, I'm going to say this. I think that the Diddy situation, I think this is just the beginning. I think it's going to lead down a real ugly path. I think it's going to cost him probably, I'm going to guess, about $300 million by the time it's done. And I would just love to ask him, like, was it worth it? Does it make sense? Is it all, did it all compute properly? because, bro, you got a lot of problems to solve, and that's my 2 cents, man. I kind of, I'm not saying I feel bad for the guy, but Lord, I'm gonna tell you, Malcolm X used to say that the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then lock you up for being drunk. That's what he'll do. He'll tempt you. He will make you think everything's okay. He'll get you out here running around like the white boys, getting into stuff, doing all kinds of things that you know you ain't got no business doing. And then he'll turn and he'll say, "Look at that Negro over there. Look at what he's been up to. He's not a good person like the rest of us. He's debaucherous. He's bad. He's evil." But that guy that you're calling names right now, oh, he used to be your buddy though. Y'all used to kick it. He was your protege. He was your colleague. He made you $100 million, and you loved him back then. And you knew what kind of person he was. And the thing was, you tempted him into getting deeper into his addictions and his obsessions and all these other things. And I'm not saying Diddy's innocent. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that hip hop, unfortunately, what hip hop has become is a pathway to darkness for many of our most promising young black men. Hip hop culture is a garbage, disgusting, dastardly, fucked up culture. I'm not saying all of it's bad. I'm saying that a lot of it is. I'm saying that a lot of it's the type of stuff that you don't want your daughter in that toxic waste dump of a culture. She's going to come out with psychological damage and physical damage that you cannot imagine. You don't want your son in that toxic waste of a culture. You want them in places where they're going to be happy, safe, and free. There's nothing good or happy, safe, or free about being in a world that is surrounded by drugs, violence, abuse, ignorance, and irresponsible behavior. There's nothing that in that environment that's going to lead you to have a happy, prosperous life. Just ask DMX, who's now kicking up dirt from 6 feet under, and he could have been a great man. He could have been a multi-billionaire. He could have went on to do amazing things, but now he's dead. Just go ask Tupac, who's also 6 feet under. But yet, because he gets immortalized as one of the greatest rappers of all time, somehow we think that was a net win, that somehow being dead and worshipped is better than being alive and healthy around for your grandchildren. Tupac's supposed to be a grandfather and a billionaire. He's not supposed to be a motherfucking ghost. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not what Pac was supposed to be, man. Pac was so much more than a damn rapper. But we so caught up in letting these white folks tell us what our culture is supposed to be that we literally are like, yeah, Tupac, he the greatest, he the GOAT, he did this, he did that. But he's dead, man. Give me a yes or no. How many of you would trade places with Tupac right now? If you could be idolized, but you got to drop dead right now, how many of you, give me a yes or no, how many of you would trade places with Pac? Yes or no? I wouldn't, because I like my grandkids. I got grandkids. I love seeing my grandkids grow old. I wouldn't, because I like living in a world where I ain't got to worry about people trying to kill me every single day that I'm alive. I wouldn't, because I don't really want to be in situations where I got to deal with nasty degenerates like Clive Davis and people like that trying to take your booty hole at every available turn. I wouldn't trade places with any of that. Even Pac. Remember y'all remember when Pac let it slip? Where he talked about, he literally said something like Quincy Jones tried to, you know what to him. He said that, and then he changed his language because he kind of became more mainstream and he couldn't say that stuff anymore. He couldn't tell the truth anymore. I don't want to be in a place where I can't tell the truth. And so thank you, Karen Kelly, for your comment. She said this is a much needed conversation. I appreciate you appreciating the conversation. I appreciate your appreciation, because at the end of the day, black folks got to have a different discussion, man. This culture, there ain't nothing nice about hip hop culture. Take it from a guy who knows rappers. I know, I told you, Kanye West called me. I did not call him. He called me last year. We talked for 12 hours. And there was nothing about that phone call or those conversations we had. We had several conversations. There was nothing about his life where I said, man, I would love to be in that life. Yeah, he was staying in the Waldorf Astoria. Probably cost him, $10,000, $20,000 a night. Yeah, he has a lot of money in this bank account. But this man had problems at a level that I don't even want to have to deal with. I would not want to deal with those problems and the people he was dealing with and the spaces that he had to go into. I said, brother, I'm not going in those spaces with you. I don't want to live in. I want my peace is more valuable than any amount of money that these racist bastards can offer me. See, they offer you money to sell your peace. They offer you money to sell your soul. They offer you money to sell your livelihood. You sell your freedom. Look at how many rappers have been either killed or criminalized because they up here trying to fight for attention and get some white man to write them a goddamn check. Seriously, think about this. Look at how many rappers have gone on Vlad TV snitching on themselves and others. Literally, you self-snitching. You out here telling everybody about stuff you did, crimes that you committed in the 90s and the early 2000s because you're trying to get some internet clout. Because apparently nobody ever taught you that you're worthy even when you're not internet famous. So because you need to relive the glory days and you know that they paying good money for a Negro that'll make a fool out of himself, you literally are committing to criminal behavior that you committed in 2003. The police don't forget about the murder that you did in 2003, but you're telling Vlad TV and then they're using that against you as evidence. How dumb can you be? How did they teach you to be that stupid? You got to take lessons to be that dumb. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if I ever, I wouldn't kill anybody, but if I ever did, y'all will never know anything about it because I'm not gonna announce it on Vlad TV. My wife would not know anything about it because I don't want her to have to carry around that information, because if she let it go, then I might have to make sure she was the next victim. I'm just kidding. I love you, baby. But still, seriously, no. So this is a little bit of Dr. Boyce advice. You don't have to pay for this. This is free. The advice is don't kill people. But if you do, keep it to yourself. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. When I start acting weird, that's my cue to get the hell up out of here before I say something dumb. So I want to say thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you for hearing me. You don't have to agree. I just appreciate having a conversation with you, and I appreciate all of you. So one thing I want to mention as well is that if you'd like to get a copy of a free ebook that we have on our $5 a day investing plan in the Black Business School, is totally free. It'll help you have $100,000 for your kids by the time they're 20 years old. Just go to b1investing.com. This b1investing.com, and there's free stuff there that will help you to get started on your investing journey. Second of all, the Get Money Fest is hosted by Jay Ortiz. I'm going to attend that. It's going to be the 18th in Philadelphia from 12 to 6. So if you'd like to get information or RSVP, just go to getmoneyfest.com. Tickets are free. Best financial literacy training that you'll ever get. It's all about getting money, how to make money. I believe that if Black people learn how to make our own money, we don't have to go to Diddy parties to get a couple bucks. You won't have to go sell your soul to Clive Davis in order to make a nickel. You'll understand a million ways that you can make money so that our boys don't have to do terrible things to themselves in order to get money. So that's what I really believe in, is that I believe that if we learn how to get money on our own, we don't have to go get on our knees and beg some bigot to pay a couple bills for us by having us do things that are going to deplete our soul. So really, truth be told, at the end, I know I can sound a little rough around the edges when I talk. Just chalk it up to the fact that sometimes I get frustrated. But at the end of the day, I want our financial literacy to get up so that we don't have to embarrass ourselves to get a nickel. I hope y'all know what I'm saying. Last but not least, every morning we do financial consciousness training in the Black Business School. It's 100% free. You can bring your whole family. So if you want to join us for financial consciousness training, just text the word morning to 87948. Text morning to 87948. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., even before the Get Money Fest, I'm going to do another training. I do this every single day, 7 days a week. And we discuss what it means to be financially conscious, financially aware. If you can't see the money, you can't be the money. If you can't see it, you'll never be it. So my goal is to help you see the money in your life so you can get wealthy. And it doesn't cost you a nickel to be there. You don't have to pay money, just pay attention. That's it. My PhD's in finance, so I do know what I'm talking about. All right, guys. So have a good night. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you guys again soon. And my wife and I are going to do a pillow talk about this. My wife is a therapist and a professor of social work. I'm curious to hear what she has to say as well. Love you guys. Have a great day. God bless you. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.